Hey, how's it going, everybody? Zero Star Hedge here, and today I have a lot to talk about. I just recently got completely caught up to Attack on Titan, and a couple days ago I made a review talking about Chapter 84, because I kind of wanted to stop there and talk about what was happening with Armin and Erwin, that whole stuff over there. But before I talk anymore, I want to say if you are not caught up to Attack on Titan, please stop watching this video because I'm going to be getting into some, everything that's been happening in these chapters, and I would hate to spoil this series for you because it is so great. That being said, guys, I am a little bit behind, I know, but I just recently got completely caught up. When I started reading this a couple days ago, I was at the point where, it was the Survey Corps versus the military police type of stuff, which I liked. I know some people didn't like it at all, but I thought it was actually pretty interesting. I liked the stuff with Kenny. I thought his character was really awesome, and that whole stuff, in that whole stuff with like Historia and Eren and Rod was really cool. I really enjoyed that. But obviously, since then, the story has gotten way better. I heard a few people like stop watching the series at that point, with the whole human versus human thing, but I don't understand it. I thought it was very important for the story. That being said, though, I read it all at one time and didn't have to wait monthly for it like some of you guys did, so that's probably why. I mean, at that point, it wasn't too eventful. But that being said, guys, I have a lot I want to talk about. I am really enjoying this series. There's so many great characters in here. I just want to say that right off the bat. Armin has grown so much, and he has to be my favorite character, which is crazy because in the beginning of the series, I could not stand this guy. I thought he was so annoying, but now he is just such a great character, and it is crazy to see him grow. All the 9 people that are left have really grown a lot. But let's talk about just a few things. This is going to be kind of a scattered review because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. But let's talk a little bit about that attack that happened on, against Reiner and Bertolt trying to get back the Wall Maria. Let's talk a little bit about that before I talk about, the stuff with Aiden's dad. That stuff was so awesome. Like, Owen's final speech to the Survey Corps trying to get them to go out there and fight was so awesome. The fight with Owen, the fight between Owen and Armin, trying to figure out who was going to be the one to, get that serum was so cool. There was so much stuff going on out there. Armin becoming the Colossal Titan. Awesome, dude. This is awesome stuff. This series has gotten so much better than I thought it would. And, that whole stuff was really cool. Unfortunately, I really did not like the fact that Reiner got away again because 2 times in that fight, he looked like he was done for. And I knew when, they decided to wait to kill him that he was going to get away. I just saw that coming. And that was the only thing about that part I didn't really like. We'll see what he does later, but I thought it was just kind of crazy that he survived twice. The first time he really should have died because he got hit so many times in the back of the neck. But that being said, guys, I finally got to the part where we find out the truth about everything. We finally get to the basement that we've been waiting to get to since the beginning of the series. This is what the series has been about at this point. Getting to that basement. What was in that basement was going to decide how good this series really is, and I could have not have imagined how good it was. Like, I did not, like, I truly believed that when they got into that basement, they were going to find out something to stop the Titans, and they were going to kind of bring peace to the world or something like that, but, which, might have been what happened, but I'm really happy that it didn't. There was so much more to this story than I realized, because when we got to that point, I really thought that the series was going to be very, very close to ending because Wall Maria and getting it back was kind of the whole, goal of the story, but now there's a whole other mission. But let's talk a little bit more about that. So we found out about the whole backstory about Grisha on the other side of the wall with the Marlians, the Eldians and the Marley people and all that stuff. And I want to talk a little bit about the very beginning where you see him with his sister, and he goes out obviously, and he meets those soldiers, and the soldiers kill his sister. The revolution starts, and eventually he gets to the point where he's gonna get thrown back into this island paradise, which is where the whole series takes place. So when I saw that panel of paradise or whatever, where the main story takes place, and I saw everything else, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. This whole story has been such a small part, and I can't wait to really get to see more about that. But so we get to the part where they're getting ready to throw all the revolutionary people off. Wait. Before I talk about that, there's one thing I forgot to talk about. Zeke. I thought it was really crazy finding out that he is Eden's brother and Grisha's son, which is completely, I was not expecting that at all. Such an awesome moment. But I completely understand why he did what he did, because really Grisha was wrong for what he did. I understand his idea of wanting to get a guy to the other side and have him go up there and have him take him down from the inside, but that was really a terrible plan in my opinion, because you saw how like mindless this guy was. He was like a zombie. His whole life, his whole meaning was this mission. He probably didn't feel love or anything. So I understand why Zeke did what he did. Some people might not agree with me with that, but it really makes sense to me, because that was just a terrible plan in my opinion. I understand why they tried to do it, but doing that to your son was terrible. And I understand why he turned that way. But that being said, he turned his back against his own people, and now we're at the wall again. And when we got to see all those people falling off the wall, turning into Titans, I could not believe it. I could not believe it. It was so freaking awesome. But it was so crazy because these Titans that we have been seeing throughout the whole series, these are the Titans, like the big bearded one that tried to eat Armin, and then a little bit later on when we find out about the smiling Titan, my jaw dropped. Oh my gosh. To know that Grisha's previous wife ate Eden's mom and his new wife, wow, like that was ridiculous. Such a great moment. And that whole scene at the wall was so tense. Like it was just a manga, reading the panel, but I could feel so much more emotion than I thought I would from just the manga itself. That being said, when I get to animate it, if they do that correctly, maybe it will be one of the best scenes ever in anime, in my opinion, because that scene just had so much emotion. That whole scene at the wall, it was so well done in the manga. I mean, so well done. But eventually, that really douchebag guy that we've seen way before, the guy that fed Grisha's daughter, not daughter, sister to the dogs. He is just a douchebag, and he's giving everyone this the serum that's turning them into Titans, and or whatever it is that turns them into Titans, and he's just going off on this speech, just being a complete asshole. And then when that moment happened, where that other guy who we've seen throughout the time when Grisha was a kid, that other soldier, when we see him push down that guy, and we figure out that he's the owl, I literally was like, there was another moment where I literally had to stand up. I literally had to stand up and just go, wow, oh my gosh, that was so well done. There was we just got that stuff with the Smiling Titan, and then we got this right after, and it was wow, really cool stuff. And so now we, obviously he goes crazy and he, kills all the people. And I understand why. At first I was kind of mad because he waited so long to do it. But then when he, when they finally sat down and they kind of talked, I understood why he did it the way he did it. Still not too happy about it. But what he was saying about having to, take down, well, not really take down, but turning Grisha's wife into a Titan, it actually does make sense, because if the enemy would have grabbed her, they would have keep on using her to make more people from that royal blood. I'm pretty sure that's what they were saying. A lot of this is very new to me, so if I'm wrong with anything that I'm saying, please correct me. But I just there's a lot. This is a lot of information to take in a couple of days, and I took a few notes, and I'm trying to get everything right. But so let's talk a little bit about the Titans themselves. So there's these 9 Titans that came from Ymir. And which I think is so cool, and it really does make sense. And real quick, I want to talk about, I have a list right here of what I see from the Titans so far. So obviously we have Armin, who is the Colossal Titan now, who we got it from Bertolt. That's what we know. Reiner is the Armored Titan. We got Annie, the Female Titan. Zeke, the Ape Titan. And then we got Ymir being the Dancing Titan. And then we have Eren, obviously, who obviously, Grisha used to have it, being the Attack Titan, which I think is freaking cool. I mean, that was really cool. And then the Coordinate Titan, which is probably the most important one, because that's why the Empire before, well, the Marlians or whatever you want to call them, had to, do everything the way they did because they couldn't control the Titans because they didn't have the coordinate Titan anymore. So like that one's gonna be very important, and I'm gonna talk about more about that in a little bit because that's gonna play a huge part in the story. Some stuff happened with him and his story that I want to talk about in a little bit. But let's get back to what I'm talking about right now, and this whole thing with the owl is so well done. And Grisha having to decide what is he gonna do? Like how is he gonna go on? He just saw his wife and all the people he cared about. In that the years he spent with these people trying to rebel, all turn into Titans right in front of his eyes. Like you can't imagine that scene, that moment, all the things he was thinking, all the feelings that was going through his mind at that moment. And it was just incredible to watch. It was completely incredible. I completely loved it. But that being said, he's in a very tough situation at this point, and he needs to decide what he wants to do. And eventually, obviously, he decides that he's going to fight and try and get these people ready. Because eventually these guys are going to come back and try and get these Titans' powers. So when that happens, they need to be ready. So now everyone knows the truth, and Eren kind of has some thoughts to himself where he's remembering things that I guess wasn't in the book itself, but stuff that he just remembered from learning all that stuff he did learn. Memories start to come back in his head from Grisha. I think the title worked, but I'm not exactly sure about all that stuff. Like I said, a lot of information. Some of my stuff might not be completely correct, but if it's not, please correct me because it's just a lot of stuff to learn. But that alone would have been so awesome. That whole backstory was so well done, which was so huge because if that was done wrong, the whole basement stuff, if that was done wrong, this series wouldn't have mattered because, well, I don't want to say this wouldn't have mattered, but it's just like, it was so crucial. That was a vital point of the story. They had to do it right, and they did it amazingly. Oh my gosh, it was so well done. I completely loved it. There's so much more depth there than I thought there would be. And now we're in the situation where we thought that, we were getting towards an ending, but now we gotta go and figure out how we're gonna stop these guys before they come back and, take their Titan powers back. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot of stuff to be done. And, so once they all kind of get together and they realize that this is a problem, they have to do something about this, I thought it was really cool that they decided to tell the people about it, even though, there's a lot of chaos because of that. I thought it was very important to do that. And, they kind of had this time period where they were all in that room together kind of debating what was going on. And this is where I want to talk about Eren and his story a little bit because Eren knows that the whole thing about the bloodline of using that coordinate Titan's powers, that it has to be someone from like the Reese family. I'm pretty sure if I'm correct, and he can't kill Historia. Obviously, not only is Historia so important to him, but Historia is important for the world because they just made her this queen. They just made her this, like everyone loves her. Everyone's like looking up to her, and with the world as chaotic as it is right now, just finding out that everything they knew was completely wrong. If they were to do that as well, if they were to kill Historia, stuff would just go crazy. I mean, it would just go crazy, and so obviously they can't do that. So Eren keeps it to himself, which was a very smart move on his part, and I'm really happy he did that. But there's a lot to really talk about, and really decide what he's gonna do because he did control it one time we saw, and they talked about that. But how can he either one control it himself and figure out how to do it, or two, get someone from the royal bloodline? So it's a little bit of stuff I'm a little confused about. I understand the whole part of when someone dies, the whole like the Titan will like come back into someone else. Like it will. There's like paths. I understood. I understood that, and I understand the whole Nine Titan thing. There's a few things about the Nine Titans I don't know. Like that one weird guy who like saved Reiner. The one that was handing like rocks to the Ape Titan. I think he's gonna be one of those things, but I'm not exactly sure if he's one of those Titans or not. But that being said, so we get this time skip, and which I wasn't expecting, but I thought it was so well done because they quickly said that in this year they've worked to like exterminate most of the Titans, but that couldn't have been easy. That could not have been easy. There must have been a lot of hard work in that year, a lot of really scary moments, going out and killing all these Titans. So they skipped that because that's not what's important right now. Well, it is important, but it's not what really needs to be talked about. So they skipped that, which I'm happy they did. But just know that year couldn't have been as easy as it seemed, them just taking out the Titans. That's probably a lot of work. But they finally go past Wall Maria, which they haven't done in, I think it was like 6 or 7 years they haven't done that. And they see this Titan on the floor, and they follow him. The Titan that was dragging himself. They follow him to the wall, and when we see the wall, like all the characters get to that wall, I was like, oh my gosh, man, because I knew what was right next to that wall was the ocean, and I would have never imagined in a million years that at chapter 90 of the story, we would have got to the ocean. I would have never imagined that moment, and oh my gosh, so this is why Armin just has to be my favorite character, because when I saw him get there, I thought, like in my mind, I thought about him almost dying before seeing the ocean, and him coming back and him doing all this stuff, and to see him finally make it there was awesome. It was so touching to see him finally make it, and they get there and they're playing the ocean and they're having a good time, and that scene was amazing. If it was just like that, I would have given the chapter a 5 out of 5. But then, Eren, after they kind of are there for a second, they're enjoying the ocean. Eren looks off, and he really thinks to himself, freedom is over there. Freedom is over there, and the only way they really get that freedom is to go over there and get it. And so they're gonna work hard, and they're gonna have to fight to get over there. But I thought it was just a really well done scene of like joy of being in the ocean and joy of making it this far, because they've been through so much, and but at the same time there's still so much more to be done, and this is really just the start for them. Well, not really just the start, but this is gonna be the final big battle that they have to prepare for, and it was just so well done. There was amazing. I cannot wait. Now that I'm completely caught up, I'm gonna have to wait monthly like you guys. And I don't know how you guys have been doing it with some of these chapters. Like this whole backstory, I was able to read it in one go. A lot of this stuff with the whole fight against Wall Maria, I was able to read it on my own pace, and was really nice. But now I'm like you guys, and I have to wait next month for another chapter. And I know I'm a little bit behind, and some of the stuff I'm talking about is kind of old. But I had to give my overall thoughts on this manga. I did not think I was going to enjoy the series this much, because at the point I stopped, I loved Attack on Titan. It was really good, but I didn't put it up there for me. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it. The anime was good. Up to that point, it was really awesome. But with everything that's happening right now, with the foreshadowing and the character development and the fighting and the emotion that this series is making you feel, one of my favorite series of all time. I've been reading My Hero Academia recently, and I've been completely loving My Hero Academia. And for the longest time, I didn't think it would, that My Hero Academia would fall below this, but it did. I like Attack on Titan more than that, which is to me is big, because I really have been loving that series. But Attack on Titan blew me away, and I haven't felt this way about a series or a manga, even a TV show at all that I've been watching or reading lately. They gave me these kind of emotions. They gave me this type of feeling. Like, this is why I love anime. This is why I made this YouTube channel. This is why I read manga, and this is why I probably annoy my friends talking about this type of stuff, just because I love it so much. And this is why, this series is just a perfect example of why Attack on Titan has been so great. There are a few more points I got to get to real quickly that I kind of forgot to talk about. But one thing that I really want to talk about is that whole thing with Flock, or Fleek, or whatever the guy's name is, the kind of fodder character that was going off and complaining to, the survey corps about them picking Armin and not Erwin. You have to, that was so well done. I'm really happy they did that, because even though I was so angry at him for saying those things, because obviously us being attached to the other characters, we hated, we didn't like him saying this, but he's right, all those people who were like characters that aren't in the main story, they all went and died, and they lost their lives. And not everyone agreed. Well, probably most people don't agree that Armin should have got it, because in the public's eyes, Erwin is Erwin. He's the commander. He's the leader, and so for them to pick Armin, some people were probably like, "Whoa, what the heck?" we know what we know because we are the viewer, and we've seen all the things that Armin has done, how he stepped up, and how Armin can really be the next leader. But to these people, they don't know that because they don't know that character the way we do. So you have to understand why they are so angry that Erwin, their commander, was not chosen to be brought back to life, but this guy Armin was. To them, it's probably like completely crazy, you know. And I thought it was really well done that they at least addressed that they showed the opinion of that other side. I thought it was really well done. That was a great scene. But that being said, I do believe Armin will be great for leading, this next generation. And to see that he is a Titan now, it's incredible. Oh my gosh, like it's so like Armin's character alone is why I love this series so much, because I hated this guy. Like, I really did not like this guy the whole first season of the anime that I watched and the manga. I did not enjoy him, but now he's one of my favorites. Eren is a great character. I mean, he's kind of growing on me more. He's not my favorite, but I do really enjoy him. Mikasa obviously is awesome. Levi is amazing. I thought that character Kenny we met a little while ago was awesome. His story is awesome. So many great characters. So many great stuff going on. Okay, so there's one thing that I forgot to talk about. I had to come back and talk about it real quickly, and that is the fact that in that scene with the owl, well, Kruger or whatever you want to call him, he brought up Mikasa and Armin, and that's the one point of this where a lot of the stuff, even a little bit of stuff where it's a little bit hard to understand, I can briefly, like, I can understand most of it, but with this part, I do not get it at all. I watched a few YouTube channels, and I did some stuff on Reddit, and I don't understand it. I really don't. I really hope they talk about that soon, because that made no sense to me of how Kruger would know about Mikasa and Armin. I don't understand it. Maybe you guys in the comment sections can tell me something, because I don't know. But that's one thing I want to talk about. And then the other small thing that I forgot to talk about that I want to bring up is I'm very happy that it was Hanji who took over for Erwin and not Armin. Because Armin's not ready to be that big leader yet, you know what I mean? And Hanji's a great character, and I definitely think it should have been her. The only reason I'm even bringing this up is because on Reddit some people were saying that no, it should have been Armin, which to me doesn't make sense. It definitely should have been Hanji. But I thought those are the two things that I just wanted to come back real quick and talk about, because I forgot, and I think they're very important to bring up. We get that letter also from Ymir. That Ymir made towards Historia, and I really don't know. I think Ymir's dead. That's what I thought was going on, but she might be alive. I don't know. But that's a whole other thing I have to really think about more, because like I said, all this is very new. But yeah, Attack on Titan, guys, it's great. I know this video is getting long. I actually just for the first time looked down and saw how long this video is. But I'm sorry, I just had to just give my main thoughts on everything that's been going on in this series. I'll make another video a little bit later talking about what I think is going to happen next. But for now, I'll just kind of sit on this and think about it more. But I had to make this, this video talking about how great this series is, because this series is amazing, and everything that's happened in the last little while has been so good. I know this was kind of all over the place. I touched a lot of points. But it was great. It was great. Attack on Titan is awesome, guys. Well, obviously you should be reading it if you watch this video, but it's amazing. I cannot wait for the next chapter, guys. I will see you guys next time. Sorry for this super long video, but you guys have a great day. Zero Star Hedge here. Bye.